Hi guys! So welcome to my channel. My name is Tammy, and today I wanted to talk to you about conjugal visits, also known as family visits, also known as having sex with your husband or wife while they are incarcerated. So this seems to be a huge topic among the prison wife community, also among like the family and friends of inmates. It is definitely a huge topic. And it's definitely something that everybody wants to have the opportunity to, but unfortunately in the United States, very few people have the opportunity to do this. So we always, in my support group, we always get questions who allows these visits? What states allow the visits? Why don't they have them? Why don't they get them? So I'll just start with some of the basic questions and answer those for you. If you have any questions about this video, definitely comment below. Subscribe to this video and you'll see more of my regular videos that are going to be similar to this topic. So let's start off with who allows these visits. So you cannot get them in jail. Like none of the jails in the United States offer conjugal, aka family visits. This is something primarily that is offered in the prison system. It is offered in 4 states. We have California, Washington, Connecticut, and then also New York. So I can definitely speak for California and Washington since I'm really familiar with both of those systems because I have friends in California and then I'm in Washington State. So I'm very familiar with the way that their family visits are ran here as well. So let's start with California. California is, I guess, more of a left-wing state. They don't have as many restrictions as most states do. So once you're incarcerated into the prison system in California, you do have to be married. And if you're married, you can apply for family visits there. They do not have a time limit. So you don't have to wait a year nope, you don't even, they have no time limit there in California. So as soon as you're married, as soon as you're incarcerated, you can ask for the paperwork. You would go to your counselor and ask for that paperwork. They might also have it online too. So you just want to Google search, the prison that they're at or California Department of Corrections and then family visits. And then it should give you all of the information from there that you would go through. But definitely talking to your counselor or having your husband or wife talk to their counselors would give you the most amount of information. I do know, though, that, there's no time limit in California. I also have heard that many of the prisons there, it's every 30 days that you're able to get those visits. So once you have a family visit, you would immediately apply for your next one. And usually it's about a 30 to 45-day wait. Now, that can vary from prison to prison. It just depends on how many people at that facility are already getting those family visits and how many trailers they have available at that facility. So generally, when I say trailer, generally they're going to have on prison grounds either a double wide trailer. I think it's double wide. It's usually 2 bedrooms, bathroom, living room, kitchen, just the basics. I know that, I'll get to Washington in a second. So it's either going to be a trailer or it'll look like a duplex. I've heard both things. So I know in California, you have to actually order the food from the prison. So you pay ahead of time and you send in the money for the food and all of that. So I'm not sure what their prices are. I have heard that it can get a little spendy. And then it also depends too. So when you do apply, not everybody is going to qualify for family visits. There are some restrictions. I know people that are incarcerated for domestic violence, certain violent crimes, sex crimes, those are going to be the people that would not be able to get family visits. So, but you can always try to apply. The worst thing that's going to happen is they're going to say no, and then obviously you can't get them. But, I would try and apply just just to see if you can get them. But I know for a fact, like, especially with domestic violence, like, say that the crime that they're in there for was like an assault or some sort of a domestic violence crime, they, like, for security reasons, and I totally get it, like, they're not going to want to allow a wife to have a family visit with a husband for 2 days, and you guys aren't bothered those 2 days, because if something were to happen, they would be at fault, you know what I mean, for, like, letting you guys have that visit together. So that's California, pretty much. Like, apply, talk to the counselor. You have to be married, no time limit. And then I didn't mention this, it's either you can get 24 hours or 48-hour visits. And they usually, like, make you pay for staying in the trailer or the duplex. In Washington, it's $10 a day. So it's, like, really, you know, it's not that expensive at all. So it's definitely doable. So that's what I have to say about California. Also, California just passed for lifers to have family visits. So that is really awesome. That just happened. I want to say like a couple months ago, I first heard about it. And then like maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, I heard that it actually like is in full effect. So I know like a lot of the facilities lifers have like put in for those family visits, and the counselors are saying, you know, that they don't do it there. So I would just keep trying. And if you're not getting through to those counselors because for some reason they're just like being asses about it, go to headquarters, you know, go like above the counselors because it's definitely something that you should be able to take advantage of. So let's move to Washington State. This is where I know the most information about it. Washington State is way different when it comes to family visits. We still call them family visits, and I didn't mention it previously, but a family visit is going to be with an immediate family member. So it would be spouses, children, siblings, parents, grandparents, and I want to say that's it. Like I know step parents too, because my husband's stepfather or his ex-stepfather was allowed to go into the visit. So as long as like they're a major like part of their life, they'll allow those visits with them. So it's pretty cool. So yeah, it has to be immediate family member. In Washington State, if they were married prior to incarceration, they only have to wait 6 months if they have less than 5 years remaining on their sentence. If they have more than 5 years remaining on their sentence and they were married prior to incarceration, you then have to wait 1 year. So it's still really not even that bad. If you got married after they were incarcerated and you do not have any children together, you do have to wait 3 years. If you got married after incarceration and you do have kids together, then you only have to wait 1 year. So I guess like the only people that have to wait a long time are the ones that got married after incarceration and they don't have kids together. So that's where I fit into that category. And we have been waiting for 2 years and 3.5 months. So we have about almost 8 months left. We're getting close. But Washington State is different, and like, so they do have duplexes or they have trailers that you stay in for 24, 48 hours. Each prison is totally different. Some it's every 30 days. Some it's like every 4 months. So it just depends on how many other people are getting family visits and like what the superintendent's implemented as far as rules and policies and stuff like that. So personal experience, we transferred to the prison that my husband is at specifically for the reason that it is known as one of the prisons in Washington State to have the most like laid back visits. So we've heard stories of like in visiting room being able to like, you know, sneak hugs and kisses and like, you know, just have more of like like more freedom, I guess, in the visiting room. And it is totally true. Like there is a lot more freedom where he's at. But what happened to us, and this is really crappy, and I'm sure it's happened to other people in other states, is once we transferred to the facility, about 2 months later, this new superintendent who had only been there for maybe 4 months or so, she took out 2 days that they offered family visits during the middle of the week. And because she took out those 2 days, the visits went from having every 45 days to every 4 months. It is literally every 4 months, and it is crazy. Because people were used to every 45 days being able to have a visit, which is so nice. And now, like, they apply for a visit in January and they can't even get in until pretty much May or April. Yeah, like April or May. So, I mean, it's a really long time. So it just really depends on the facility. But so my husband gets family visits with his mom. So I can speak about that situation and tell you guys what it's like from what I've heard, from what my husband has told me, and like from our perspective. So she has been having visits for about over a year. I want to say she's had like 4 or 5 family visits with him, and they've all been great. She's told me that she brings in like a huge cooler full of food. The food has to be packaged. It can't be cooked from home because they want to make sure that like you're not like sneaking drugs in, cooking drugs into it or anything like that. So it has to be in a cooler. They go through all of your food. They put it in containers and go through all the containers. And, they go through like your bag of clothes. You bring a bag because you're going to stay for a couple nights. Once they go through the bag of clothes, and I think they might like have you just go through like the x-ray machine like you normally would at visiting. Once you go through there, they kind of drive you around to the area where you stay at. So it'll be a trailer or duplex. And once you get there, the person that you're visiting will actually come out and they can like help you bring things into the trailer or the duplex. And then from there, like you guys are on your own. The only time that the correctional officers see you or like bother you at all is if they're doing count. So every prison does count, and it's usually like, I want to say every 5 hours, every 5 or 6 hours they do count. And so they have a phone inside of the trailer, and inside of that, inside the trailer, they have the phone. It's like a little, like landline phone, and they'll call you and like say, hey, come out, like we're doing count, we need to see you. And you step outside of the trailer, they see that you're fine, and then you guys like go right back to whatever you're doing. So it's really cool. Like, they bug you a limited amount of time, which is awesome. Another thing is if you ever need to bring in like medication, like I am on pain medication and anxiety medication. So when I go for my visits at the end of the year, I'm going to have to bring that with me. So I think the correctional officers hold on to your medication. And then when you need it, like, you'll call them and like, they'll come out and give it to you. So you still get your medication that you need. So it's pretty cool and it's pretty laid back. And they also give you the opportunity to rent DVDs. So like when we're in the regular visiting room, they have a list of DVDs, and my husband will like look through this catalog of DVDs, and like he'll pick out movies that he wants, to watch during that EFV. And EFV means extended family visit. So during that EFV, he'll pick out movies he wants to watch, and then I'll let his mom know what they are. So that way when she comes in, she requests those movies, and, they'll give them to her. I think you can also check out games and like decks of cards, and that sort of thing. I know they have game consoles in there as well. So if you're into the video game thing, that's something that you could totally do. I know my husband isn't into it. He said that last time he tried to use it, he said he couldn't even turn it on. So definitely not into the video game thing. But yeah, EFVs pretty much are the same in Washington and California. Domestic violence, like they usually won't approve you if you have anything like that on your record. Not like the visitor, but like the inmate. And then if it's a violent crime, like rape, murder, any major assaults, anything like that, it has to go through headquarters and get approved there first. And then once that's approved, then like they'll let, the inmate know. And then, the inmate will tell you, hey, we're approved for family visits. You can schedule it. And then, you can go through that process. But I mean, what I would definitely do is contact the counselor or have them contact their counselor, because the counselor is going to have all of that information. They're going to be able to tell you what paperwork needs to be sent in, when you're eligible to send in the paperwork. But I mean, if like you have to wait 3 years, like you're going to know, when your anniversary is. So I know ours is November 22nd. So like I have that countdown like ready, and we count down. We've been counting down for a long time. It's like, and it's important, like we've been waiting for forever to have those visits. So it's definitely something that we're looking forward to. And yeah, we're like super excited about it. So anyways, I'm getting to about 15 minutes. I'm going to end this. But if you guys have any specific questions on extended family visits, conjugals, whatever you want to call it, please leave those comments below. Please subscribe to my channel. There is so much more coming in the future. I'm going to be collaborating with my friend Elle, who is also a prison wife in Washington State. Her fiance is there. And yeah, we have like a lot of big things in the works for this channel. So stay tuned for another video. I'm going to put one up here in a little bit. And like always, if you have any ideas for videos in the future, just please let me know down below. And I will be sure to do a video on any topic that you guys would like me to do. So I know there's a lot involved in the prison life and being a friend or a family member of a inmate. So I can, I have no problem making videos for you guys in the future on anything. So thank you so much for watching, and I'm going to end this vlog for now, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.